Okay, let's see if this works, you guys. Oh my God, when it rains, it pours. Oh boy. Let's wait for people to get in here. But welcome to Late Horror Show. We are going to get a battle. I forgot my water in all of this. Let me get my water. We're going to do a battle. Okay, give me a sec. Need my water. Still a little bit of a scratchy throat. So we finally got on here. The Late Horror Show. That is what this is. Got to do a battle between Sherlock Holmes, Nero Wolfe. I do not know what the problem was, but like everything, when it rains, it pours. It started dropping frames like crazy. And I'm like, no, this isn't supposed to happen. But anyways, here we are. I am going to get into a few things at the start of this, and then we'll get into the whole Sherlock Holmes, Nero Wolfe battle. But I do appreciate everybody being here and jumping back over. I got the poll up there, you guys. It's Sherlock Holmes, Nero Wolfe. Everybody thinks, of course, Sherlock Holmes is going to run away with it. And it's my favorite. But do a debate. Let's see what you guys think. Listen to what we got to say. We're going to listen to a couple episodes during the stream. And you guys can kind of debate back and forth during that and everything like that. So with that said, I do have to touch on a couple things. As long as the stream stays healthy, the video picture looks fantastic now. I would hope it should. I needed to reboot the computer and everything. But hello, Emily Thompson, Frontier Studies, Travis DeLuca, Bubba, Ginger, Trog, Connie Clary, Willie Abe. Dino, love you for this one, my brother. Thank you very much. JLR, what's going on? John David, what is going on? Tracy Asteria, Connie Clary. Hopefully I got everybody. CM is here. Stairpike, there he is, clear as a bell. Yes, Vincent White, what is going on? Most of the time I just stay silent and I try not to involve you. If anybody ever is, hey, Bob Gable, what's going on? Should be original Sherlock Holmes versus that Tom guy. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, there's different Sherlock Holmes, so it just depends. But anyways, Tom Conway, is that what you're talking about? Nigel Bruce and Tom Conway. There's also Stanley and Shirley. But hello, Edward Stewart. What is going on? The video and audio looks great, Dino. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. It looks so clear now. See, yeah, I don't understand. As long as the frames don't drop. Okay, so I think I might have it fixed. But okay, there's a couple things I want to clarify with you guys. And then we'll get into this. I don't usually ever want to talk drama. Don't ever want to talk anything bad. Don't want to mention names. So I'll be as careful as possible with talking to you about what's been going on behind the scenes a little bit. People on Discord kind of know a lot more because I post there to keep updates and let people know like what's going on and everything like that. But it's something that most of the people on YouTube who aren't part of certain things don't understand. With YouTube and with all of this that I do comes drama, comes trolls, comes all sorts of things. Most of it you can put to the side as a channel, owner of this, the Late Horror Show or any other channel. For the most part, you can block trolls, you can put them aside, and even other channels. I've had the issues with other channels, and I won't name things or channel names because I don't want to be that person. But I wish people would be original in what they do. But that's neither here nor there. The main thing that's going on kind of right now, which you guys don't really know much about, is in the YouTube business, there's a constant onslaught of trolls, of weirdos, of stalkers, of people trying to mess with you and mess things up, mess up what you have. There's people that are constantly trying to do that. There's ups and downs, but it only takes one or two people to ruin and get to you. Stress, you know what I mean? Get to you. Most of the time I don't let it bother me. Russell Cunningham, what is going on? Haven't seen you in a long time. Scott Perkins, hey. No use for a name. What's going on? But, okay, so behind the scenes, there's this thing called, and a lot of you guys probably know the word catfishing, okay? And this will only be a couple more minutes, and then we'll get to the having the fun. I don't really ever want to put a stream down. I just kind of want to let you guys know where things are and where things stand. You never know sometimes where they're coming from. And don't leave, people. In a few minutes here, we'll get to having the fun, okay? I'm just trying to get across what's happening. All it takes is 1, 2 people, 3 people, whatever. If you ever see anybody get blocked on this channel, and I know some people get upset because they have a relationship with the people that's what they do. Catfishing is a thing. It's where people pretend to be something that they're not, okay? They can hide behind a name and an avatar, even put a picture of whoever, and create a person, create an image, the way they type, the way they talk to you, okay? They can be the nicest person on the planet, but behind the scenes, a switch goes off and they turn into the real person they are, and you guys don't see that, and I have to deal with things that you would not even believe, okay? You would not even begin to believe. And you could block, you can take all the precautions possible to make sure that doesn't happen, but it's so easy for them to find a way to you. And again, the whole blocking of certain people, the whole getting rid of certain people, even though they seem like a sweetheart or the best person or the best guy, okay, in the chat, please understand that they're gone for a reason, okay? There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you never see, never hear. If you heard it, which I'm not going to let you guys even know, you would be like, holy hell, I can't believe people are like that. But yes, the nicest people you see on here, some of them could be catfishing and are catfishing. Let me just say that. And when they're gone for a reason. I was bombarded today with all kinds of things. So I'm just trying to protect you guys too. I'll deal with that stuff. That's my problem. But if you have people that you know aren't on the channel no more and they're reaching out to you in ways that you're like, that's interesting, or inviting you to certain places, or even to their Facebook page, to their Twitter page, to their Discord servers. There's a lot of ulterior motives out there that are just terrible and awful. And it's part of the whole YouTube game here. And I thought this community, it's part of every community. Every community I've ever been in, there's trolls and there's people who want to mess with you. The better you do, the worse they want you not to do good. You know what I mean? So there is that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And I hope that kind of clarifies what's going on and somewhat lets you understand why things happen the way they do. Drama in the old time radio universe. I didn't think this community would have any drama. But number one, it's people. People in general. That's all I'll say. I think you know what I'm saying, okay? Other channels, I don't want to say nothing. Okay, it is what it is. You guys don't worry about it. I have to deal with it. But when you see me bring it up from time to time, it's because I've kind of hit a level to where I just can't take that stuff no more. And then just for your safety, watch who you get involved with. That sweet person that's talking to you and getting close to you. Be careful. Be very, very careful. These people sometimes are not who you think they are on YouTube. Anyways, let's end it there. Not to mention the other stuff I hate that goes around in YouTube, but that goes in everything. When something's going well, somebody tries to copy it. They continue to copy it. They even, the mixed bag thing, the compilations, those are my things. I put those together. I never seen it kind of in Old Time Radio. I try to set this up like a network to where I'm playing certain shows and stuff like that. Everything I've done has been original, okay? And it irks me to see other people copying almost 100%, okay? Maybe different little changes. But that's my side. That's my battle with that side of YouTube. You guys have nothing to do with that. I'm just bringing everything to the surface now because Dino's ready to battle. And you know what? I'm just sick and tired of it. And today kind of got to me. My back is killing me. Let me tell you something. When Rocky is going through therapy for his back, and he's feeling 100%, thinking everything's good, but the doctor says, give it 4 months. You better give it 4 months or give it some time, because I thought I was good, and I started doing some stuff, and I started hitting a bag, not knowing that that's going to vibrate all the way down to my spine. And I am in pain today. So I am saying everything just like it is, and I'm fed up with certain situations. But I love you all very much. Janet, what is going on? Wade Lindemann, Trog, Blue. Everyone knows I'm a salty bastard. No, hey, in the chat, you guys are my family. When we joke around and stuff like that, that's fine. That's awesome. That's what makes us a community here. It makes us something special. I really, really adore you guys, enjoy you guys, enjoy my channel. But you're going to get the pissed off Dino every now and then who has had enough. I don't need that kind of stuff in my life. And the people who try to play nice, okay, and I'm talking about other channels too, when they try to play nice and seem like, they're a-holes. That's all I got to tell you. You know what I mean? You don't know the half of it. Anyways, here I go. Let's get to this, okay? I see there's a lot of chatting and a lot of discussion, and I know you guys all love the channel and everything like that. So this is just me airing my grievances. Okay, so let's see. Telstar is here. What's going on? Sorry, I missed probably a lot of what you guys were saying. No, Dino, you are a kind soul. Well, that's the thing, and that's part of it, Janet. I am a kind soul. I got a heart. I feel for every single person in my chat, in my community that's part of all of this. And that's what makes me pissed off. When I see 1, 2, or 3 or teaming up or doing this and that, and believe me, listen, there's people teaming up, okay, behind the scenes that you guys don't know about to get me, not doing as good as I'm doing. It's not going to work. But anyways, that's what pisses me off. And when I see it start to involve you guys, that's when I get pissed off. Some of yous may be listening to me right now and going, what the hell is he talking about? What's wrong with him? Why does he even care? What's he going? If you were in my seat right now, you guys, you would feel the same way and you would care. Okay. So anyways, enough said. I think, did I clarify it? Do I need to stand up? Do I need to clarify it? Okay. Anyways, here we go. Sounds pretty sweet. Hey, what's going on, man? Anyways, Festivus. Yes. Let's get to more lovin'. You won't hear nothing for a while from me, I'm sure. But every now and then I blow my top. Okay, here we go. And then there were gremlins in my computer and messed everything up. I had to start it up again. So here we go. I think I said hello to everybody. If not being fair with you, Dino, let me know. I'll take care of these knuckleheads. Well, Blue, I've seen you. Nah, I'm not going to say nothing. No, you know what? I'll be done with it. I'm done with it. Everything's been said that needs to be said. Again, my channel, it's got everything you need as an old-time radio fan to listen to, the playlist. Even if you go back to an old playlist, you can still watch and hit that button live chat. You can still watch the old conversations that were going on. So you even still get, because I saved them, you save the conversations, you still get the chat going all night long. You can say, I remember that night when they were talking about that during the Johnny Dollar stream or the Sam Spade stream or something like that. It's all there. It's still all there. So just saying, there you go. And you got Tracy and Lisa tomorrow night. So you're going to enjoy that. You get me and Ted on Wednesday, okay? We will be talking Flash, Gordon, right here, and it's going to be fun. So there you go. Frontier Studies, you have spent an afternoon trying to understand trolling, watching psychology videos, and explain the crazy behavior. It's a nonstop thing. Some people have no... Hello, Poetic Justice. We are family. Yes. And I'm sorry when... Big Dino here has to step up and blow his top and say what needs to be said sometimes because I just say it how it is. I don't keep my mouth shut. I say things how they are, and that's just how I am. Terrence M. Ritchie, what's going on? Vincent White, #1 channel. Thank you very much, man. Don't remind people I'm usually drunk chatting. Yes, you are, Bob Gable. Anyways, good to see you, Terrence M. Ritchie. Hopefully you're doing okay, bud. I know you've had a rough go of things, and everybody still, once again, send some love to RTN. I have not heard from him in 4 days. It's usually really rare for me not to hear from him. So hopefully he's all right. I don't know what's going on. So prayers to RTN. Let's get this thing started. I know I'd like to just take the whole stream and talk about the psychology and the sociology around the human mind and why people do certain things, why people are serial killers, why people are stalkers, why people are just crazy loon bats, and why they get infatuated with certain things, you know what I mean? And then they let that take over their life. And, that's their whole meaning when they get up in the morning and when they go to bed at night. Why that is, there's reasons behind it. It's the whole makeup of the human mind. And it's terrible. It really is. And I just spent half an hour, 10 minutes of that, trying to get the stream up. So here we go. Josel Swopes. There you go. Don't be fooled by the fake cover coming from Taiwan. Make sure it says made in the USA. I hope most of you got that and understand that 100%. Oh yes, Dino, why is the question? Why? Exactly. Anyways, drugs. Okay, here we go. Okay, so after all of that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show last night with me and Ginger talking about Nosferatu the vampire. Now we've got, and you know what? For anybody coming in that's new, hello Naomi Farley says hello all. So far I'm glad the stream is looking good and it's staying up and all that. Sherlock Holmes is at 83% right now with 54 votes. Nero Wolfe is at 17. That's probably going to be the outcome, but let's battle this out right now. And why I play some of an episode, we will do like we did last time, and you guys debate between each other in the chat. And if I see something, a good point, we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? But Wolf loves his orchids, food, and beer. Yes, Connie Clary. Yes, he does. I don't know if that makes him a great detective or not, but yeah, I'll tell you what. And we are going to. Oh boy, let me make sure I can find this. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. Okay. Vincent White, thank you very much for the super chat, and also Bob Gable, 199 super chat. Sherlock Holmes is the greatest detective ever. Thank you. I'm going to agree with you. I mean, I'm going to agree. I really do think so. I think I'm going to put Sherlock Holmes up against Johnny Dollar, or no, we'll wait. I think I'll make it more fair next time. Next Monday, I'll do it a little bit more fair. Because I do think Sherlock Holmes is the better detective. Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, okay? I think that's the pair that team up and make the best Sherlock. I know we're going Sherlock Nero. Watson's the sidekick. I get it. But Sherlock Holmes definitely, Basil Rathbone, performs that role to a T. Okay, and it's just fantastic. So if you sway your mind, the ones who voted already on the poll, you can't change it. That's the one downside. But yeah. Poirot is close second. Not sure if they ever did a radio show with him, though. They did, John David. But yeah, here, let's talk a little bit about Sherlock Holmes, okay? Everything comes in circles, even Professor Moriarty. It's all been done before and will be again, so said Holmes. And he was right. Conan Doyle killed Holmes off in disgust, but had to resurrect him and continues the tales as the public knew what they liked and wanted more of the same. Sherlock Holmes episodes on radio are often dismissed, as are the many films. Yet for his fans and all lovers of mystery, the swirling London fogs, oh my God, murder most foul, odd villains, and an upper class becoming modern as London's denizens struggle in pitiful poverty means the game is afoot. Holmes actually has a long and wonderful history on the radio. For American radio, the heroine of Holmes on the radio was Edith Miser, an actress who loved the stories and was convinced they would make great listening. She scripted several Conan Doyle stories and took them around. Miser entrepreneured a fitting sponsorship for the show herself and went back to the network triumphantly. Beginning in the early 1930s, she single-handedly wrote the show for over a dozen years, first working with, isn't that great? Back in the day, the woman creating one of the best shows out there. First working with Conan Doyle canon and then continuing to create stories in the spirit of the originals. A spot of crass commercialism seeped into the old-time radio show from the start, as Watson himself, played by various actors, took on the co-host role with a spokesman for G. Washington T. as a visitor, ready to hear a home story before a blazing fire with tea always at the brew. I love that. I love how they opened that episode with, Watson getting ready to tell the story. Watson reminisces the great tales between comments on how good the tea is. In 1955, the transcribed reran of the original great Conan Doyle stories with the fine actors Sir John Gielgud as Holmes and Sir Ralph Richardson as Watson. And in The Final Problem, Orson Welles as Moriarty. This series is held in high regards by all fans of Holmesiana. For over 100 years, these Sherlock Holmes episodes have thrilled and chilled the world. These radio dramatizations are collected ones and together offer more exciting adventures and more clues to more mysteries than any mere mortal could possibly keep straight. But we have a special man in charge. My name is Sherlock Holmes. It is my business to know what the other people know. So there you go. And yes, Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, the top team, in my opinion, than Tom Conway and Nigel Bruce. And then you get Stanley Shirley, and then you got some other ones. But, yeah, there you go. And I am going to play some of Sherlock Holmes' old-time radio show. I'm going to play The Limping Ghost, and I'm going to, peek in every now and then. Nero Wolfe books were written in over 30, 40 years, and the characters stayed the same age the whole time, staying fresh in the minds of readers, says Russell Cunningham. So that could be a good point. Yeah, so well said. So here we go. Let's kind of listen a little bit to this and see how it goes.
Petri Wine brings you Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce in the new adventures of Sherlock Holmes. The Petri family, the family that took time to bring you good wine, invite you to listen to Dr. Watson tell us another of his fascinating stories about his old friend, that master detective, Sherlock Holmes. We're really happy to be back with you once again, and we're looking forward to getting together at this time every week from here on out. And I hope you won't mind if every once in a while I sort of get a word in edgewise about Petri wines. And I really mean this. Petri wines are wonderful wines. For instance, right now, I wish I could give you a glass of Petri California port. You could hold that Petri port up to the
Petri
light
wine
and look
make
at its
the
clear,
show,
deep
right?
red color. You could smell that luscious grape aroma. And best of all, you could taste that Petri port. What a flavor. That Petri port just sort of rolls around on your tongue, and oh boy, is that ever good. Try Petri port after dinner some evening, or try it when some friends drop in. You can serve it proudly because, after all, the name Petri is the proudest name in the history of American wines.
Oh, hit that thumbs up.
And now let's look in on our good friend Dr. Watson and see if he's expecting us.
Come in, Mr. Bartell. You're just the man I've been expecting.
How are you, Dr. Watson? It's good to see you again.
Thank you, my boy. It's very nice to see you again, too. I've missed our Monday night visits during the last 3 months. Sit yourself down. Would you care to join me in a glass of port?
Well, thanks, Doctor. That'd be nice. It seems to me after our summer vacation...
Steerpike says he can only see a quarter of the screen. Is everybody else seeing the entire screen of the video? I hope so. It is coming to you in 4K. So that could be a reason on your device. I don't know. Maybe lower the resolution. Thank you, Tracy Asteria, for the links. Please join the Patreon or the channel join. And it goes to support the channel and everything I do here, which runs 7 days a week, nearly. And, well, no, it does. And almost 24/7. So there you go. But anyways, back to the show.
A toast to the great Sherlock Holmes would be in order.
That's an excellent idea. Here you are, young fellow, my lad.
Thanks. You propose the toast, Doctor.
To Sherlock Holmes, master detective and loyal friend, whose adventures have brought considerable, shall we say, fame to a certain retired doctor now living in Northern California.
I'll drink to that.
Well, now, suppose I might as well get on with tonight's story.
Which particular adventure have you selected, Doctor?
One that I call The Limping Ghost.
Sounds exciting. And, as usual, you find me saying, how did it begin?
In Baker Street on a windy December evening at the turn of the century. A young, white-faced boy sat in front of our blazing fire. And as he told us his strange story, the flickering firelight danced weird patterns on the walls. The young man was Alexander McMorris, the 7th Earl of Lochnair.
The Earl of Lochnair? Say, didn't I...
It's another thing about Sherlock Holmes. And again, people are going to say, can you stop interrupting the show? But what I'm doing is just chiming in with what I love about the episode. That's the whole point of this battle between plenty of Sherlock Holmes on this channel. So, Watson's description of what's going to happen and what the story is that's coming up lends to the whole Sherlock Holmes story. So that's just a fantastic thing. I love it. Dinos, that's the one reason we're here, to support each other, exactly, Stairpike. That's 100%. You got it. Here we go.
I read in the papers the other day that the 8th Earl of Lochnair had been killed in an airplane accident.
Quite right, my boy. Even in this day and age, the tragic history of violent death seems to dog the footsteps of the Lochnair family. But to return to my story. On that December night in 1900, we heard the whole history of the limping ghost of Lochnair. The first Earl had lost a foot at the Battle of Flodden Field in 1513. In spite of this terrible handicap, he fought on valiantly until he died on the battlefield from loss of blood. From then on, right until the time this story begins, the limping ghost, clad in a suit of armor, always appeared at Lochnair Castle before and after the death of the current Earl. Yes, Mr. Bartell, it was a strange story that Sherlock Holmes and I listened to that night. A story of death and horror over the centuries, punctuated by the limping clank of ghostly armor.
Milady, I have terrible news for you. Your husband, the Earl, was killed in the explosion that destroyed...
And I know this is the limping ghost, but there's kind of an eeriness and a ghostliness to almost all of the Sherlock Holmes episodes, with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce at least. Am I wrong? Am I just hearing that for myself? That's another thing that makes it fantastic and great. And I do see that Connie's dad is here. Mom. Trotter House Watson Jr. I love Nero over Sherlock. Nero is the blue-collar, self-made, wealthy client. Sherlock gives the impression of snooty snob. Because he's a genius and, does not mean to come off the way he does sometimes in his shows. But, yeah, I hear you. So both sides.
With Lord Darnley.
Milady, the Guy Fawkes plan to blow up the Houses of Parliament has failed. Your husband is in the Tower of London. They say he's to be hanged, drawn, and quartered.
Madam, I regret to inform you that your husband, on my instructions, has been arrested for murder. I have no doubt that he will hang.
And that's the story of the Lochnairs, Mr. Holmes. You were instrumental in sending my great-uncle to the gallows, a fate which he richly deserved, I'm told. So it seemed only natural to come here to Baker Street and consult.
Yeah, see, I got it. I may not play the full episode. I just kind of want you guys to get a gist of the feel, even though you've heard this a million times. Discussing it together and listening to it and bringing out points is kind of the important part. So I probably won't play the whole thing, but maybe a good 15 minutes or so. Emily Thompson says, I don't like Nero. He's lazy. Okay. Again, I think Sherlock Holmes going up against Nero Wolfe this week is kind of a lazy, not fair. We'll do something a little bit more fair next week, like maybe Pat Novak up against Rocky Fortune or something or Sam Spade. No, we did Sam Spade. I'll figure it out. Anyways, Stairpike says, Dino, yes, I would call it a sense of the macabre. It is a common thread in all Doyle Holmes stories. Exactly, and that's what I love. And I do love that Victorian era. It's just, that's what kind of catches me. So, anyways.
You now that I'm in trouble.
I shall be most happy to do anything I can to help you, sir.
I don't remember anything about your sending the Earl of Lochnair to the scaffold, Holmes.
Well, he did, Dr. Watson.
Oh, really?
And the servants have always sworn
Archie
the ghost
isn't
really
lazy,
did
though.
walk at midnight on the day that he
Nero
was
makes him
hanged.
go and do
Indeed.
everything.
Now, sir, I suggest that you tell us what problem brought you here.
The ghost is walking again, Mr. Holmes. You know what that means.
According to the legend, that the present Earl will die.
Exactly. And as I'm the present Earl, you can see why I'm rather worried.
Am I to understand that you've actually seen this ghost yourself?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. The night before last, Betty, that is, Miss Noel and I, were sitting in the dining hall in front of the fire when we heard a strange sound up in the musicians' gallery. We looked up and in the moonlight saw a ghostly figure in armor limping towards the staircase.
Oh, gracious me. My dear sir, you're certain that you really saw it? Moonlight can play strange tricks, you know.
There wasn't any doubt about it, Doctor. We both saw and heard it.
What did you do?
I started to go towards the stairs, but as I did so, Betty screamed and then tumbled to the floor in a heap.
Fainted, I suppose.
Yes. While I was reviving her, the ghost disappeared.
Who's staying with you at last?
I'll be joshing. There are some episodes of that show and that detective. I do have some on the channel. I wish I could point you to them, but I have played them in the past. I'll look for some more, but yes, I have played them. The worst Sherlock was Will Ferrell. I used to watch Ellery Queen. I loved it. Yeah, some good stuff.
Our castle at the moment.
Well, there's Betty Nolan. She's the sister of James Nolan. He looks after my estate. Betty and I are engaged to be married.
Oh, congratulations, sir.
Yes, indeed. Anyone else staying with you?
Yes, a distant cousin of mine, Jeremy K. McMorris, an American. He turned up in England a couple of months ago with his son Walter.
Oh boy, this could take all night long. Tail Flaudermouse, which detective gets conked on the head the most? Would that be Richard Diamond? He gets conked an awful lot in the... Or no, that's Johnny Dollar. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. That's a tough question, but I hear you.
Both with me at the present.
A distant cousin.
That's right, Mr. Holmes. Actually, they're descendants of a more than usually black sheep branch of the family. I don't know how long the old man's going to be with us, though. If you ask me, he's a dying man.
How do you say that, sir?
As far as I can gather, he's been wasting away for years. It's only a question of time before his strength fails him entirely. I was hoping perhaps you could take a look at him, Dr. Watson. That is, if I could persuade you and Mr. Holmes to come and stay at the castle for a few days.
Well, what about it, Holmes?
It's an intriguing problem, Watson. The current Earl of Lochnair would seem to be in danger. A cousin of his is dying of an obscure disease, and the ghost of Lochnair Castle is walking again. Yes, it's an irresistible invitation. I see no reason why we can't leave on the Scotch Express tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's an M. Hello, M. Victorian era would have been a great time to live if you had air conditioning and refrigeration and antibiotics. Yes. But the rich were fine, but antibiotics-wise, maybe not so. But no, I hear you. And, you know, when it comes to Sherlock Holmes, I think just the character portrayed by Basil Rathbone, he's so straightforward. You know he's going to get the job done. I just think it's the perfect actor playing the perfect role, too. I think that has a lot to do with it, because when I do go over to, not that Tom Conway, his voice is almost as, it's exact as Basil Rathbone. I mean, it's almost like he's doing an impression of him. But the acting and the way he sounds and gets his words out isn't the same. So I think it's just a perfect actor in Basil Rathbone that really, really puts his stamp on Sherlock Holmes. And I think forever and ever that will be the Sherlock Holmes in the mind of most. I can't see who would pick the Stanley Shirleys or even the Conways over them two. I just don't know who would do that. But I could be wrong. Jim Greiner, What Is Going On? The radio show Sherlock Holmes, but the books Nero Wolfe. Books, yes, totally different.
Been quite a heavy fall of snow here in your absence, young man.
Quite so. And judging from the color of the sky, there's more to come.
Very angry looking.
Oh, now, as we round this bend, you'll be able to see the castle. Ah, yes. There you are, gentlemen.
Magnificent.
Yes, it's a fine place, all right, Doctor, though it cost me a great deal in upkeep. As a matter of fact, I only have one wing open. It's always been something of a problem to get servants to come and live here. See, the local villagers have a great respect for the Lochnair ghost, you know.
What servants do you have at the castle at present?
A cook housekeeper, Mrs. McClintock, fine old lady who's been with me for 6 years now. And then there's old Tammas. He served my family for as long as I can remember. Well, as a matter of fact, there he is now. Hello, Tammas.
I'm glad to see you back, my lord, and that's a fact.
Oh, thank you, Tammas. Oh, these gentlemen are Mr. Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
How do you do?
Good day, Thomas, good day.
Before I take the trap round to the stables, I may as well break the news to you.
Yes, what's happened, Tammas?
It's your cousin, my lord. Poor old Mr. McMorris. He's dead. What? Died early this morning. God rest his soul.
Dead.
I'm very sorry that I arrived too late to be of any help.
Well, thank you for telling me, Tammas. Oh, you may take the trap round now.
Aye, sir. I'll bring the baggage up later.
So he's dead. Well, I can't say it's unexpected, but it is a shock nevertheless.
I'm sure that it must be, particularly as you yourself told us you saw the ghost of Loch Ness the night before last.
In which case...
In which case, Watson, I think we may reasonably expect another visitation. Perhaps before the night is over. Shall we go in?
If I were to say anything bad about the Sherlock Holmes, it's the organ. I know some people do like the organ, but as well as Boston Blackie and others, the organ playing in these old-time radio shows, it's part of the show, and, you know, it's okay, but I'm not a big fan of the organ, okay? So that's one downside. Even Jim Rockford kept getting bonked on the head thing. Chad Farr, what's going on?
This is Miss Nolan, my fiancée, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson.
I'm very glad to meet you.
How are you, Miss Nolan?
And this is her brother, James Nolan, the manager of my estate.
How do you do, sir?
How are you, Mr. Nolan?
Much better for seeing you both up here. I'm sure it won't take you long to lay this ghost business by the heels.
Well, I trust you don't overestimate our abilities, Mr. Nolan.
Alec, you've heard about your cousin, of course.
Oh, yes, my dear. Tammas told us as we drove up. Where's Walter?
He went into the village with the doctor and the body of his father.
Oh.
He should be back soon.
How's he taking it?
Very quietly.
Too quietly, if you ask me. Those Americans are pretty demonstrative people, you know, and Walter's been no exception. But he behaved very strangely this morning. When the doctor told him his father was dead, he just said, now things will start to happen, and then shut up like an oyster. I can't make head or tail of the fellow.
Yes, quite so, Carter. Mr. Holmes, I expect you and Dr. Watson would like to go to your room.
Yes, I must confess.
I think first I'd like to take a look at the musicians' gallery, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, of course. Would you excuse us, darling?
All right, Alec.
Yeah, we can't make Watson the detective, although he helps out Sherlock Holmes. I mean, he does his detective work, you know, just as much so as Sherlock. Sherlock's the brain behind everything, but Watson, boy, I mean, I wonder if there's any way of putting Watson up against some other sidekick, because Watson, you know, Nigel Bruce is just fantastic. I know some people don't like him but what people don't like about him is what I like about him. The mumbling, when he mumbles his words and just, there's times where he'll do it for like 30 seconds. I mean, I love it. I love it. It's just fantastic. I can't say enough of these two. That's all I got to say.
It's in the dining hall here.
They must have been very hospitable people in those days. 50 or 60 people could eat at that table.
Yes, Doctor. Needless to remark, we hardly ever use the room nowadays. There's the musicians' gallery, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, yes, I see. How do we get up there?
I'll show you. See, there's a stone staircase behind this tapestry here. Follow me. Watch your step. It's quite narrow, rather dark.
Watch your head, Watson, old chap.
Oh, don't worry about me, Holmes. I'm perfect. Oh, I say.
Hit the thumbs up.
Must have built these stairs for pygmies.
Oh, yes. Here we are, gentlemen. This is the musicians' gallery.
By Jove. It must have made a pretty picture in the days gone by. A little string orchestra fiddling away up here, and down below the Scottish nobility bobbing and floating round in the intricacies of a Highland schottische, or a stately gavotte or something.
Where does that door lead to?
To the bedroom wing.
And that's where the ghost appeared from the other night, I suppose.
Good one, Thomas Murray, and also welcome. And he says Watson versus Archie Goodwin. That kind of would be a good pair up against the sidekicks, kind of. You know, I think we got kind of the gist of Sherlock Holmes. I mean, we kind of know it. This is a great episode. The Limping Ghost is kind of one of my favorites with those two, Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce. I really do enjoy that one a lot. It seems like everybody definitely doesn't like the organ music, but and some people are chiming in with other things. I hear the organ and drop a coin in the monkey's hat. Some people will just leave, like sometimes when organ music starts playing. Like I see that a lot. Lee Horsley on TV, says Thomas Murray. Gerald Moore is my favorite Archie. Gerald Moore, yes. He did a lot of old-time radio detective voices back in the day. So, I mean, that's... hello, Ron. What is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, 62 thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up if you guys are digging this. Some shows are going to be a little bit tougher than others because, again, Sherlock Holmes going up against Nero Wolfe. I mean, you guys already got it at 83 with 76 votes, 83 to 17. So... I'm not even sure how much farther we go with this, but Gerald Moore is just great. Yes, he is. He is fantastic. Hey, it's Dave Poufflet. My favorite Sherlock Holmes is the Manor House case. That's another fantastic one. I think The Limping Ghost is one of the first ones that I've ever listened to, and heck, it's about a ghost. Although we know the ending. We know the ending. You hear that, Sherlock? You hear Watson here. Anyways, it's a fantastic episode. But that's a good one too. Shatner played Archie in Nero Wolfe pilot. Oh, really? Interesting, Dave Plouffe. I did not know that. Me and Ted are going to talk a little bit about the passing of oh God. What's her name? Uhura from Star Trek. Ted says that, who did he say was going to outlive them all is, what's his name? Sulu. Oh my, he's going to outlive them all. That's what Ted says, but we're going to do kind of a memorial. We're going to talk about her a little bit on the show on Wednesday. So, get ready for that. That'll be fun. And then Flash Gordon. So Nora Charles has my vote. Oh, and somebody did ask if I played Candy Matson. Yes, if you look up Candy Matson, I've played every episode she's had in one playlist, one stream overnight. So there is a Candy Matson stream on the channel. So you can definitely... Michelle Nichols, yes. I'm going to her. I'm trying to remember her name. Lot going on today. You know me. My mind. Rest in peace, Tony Dow as well. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. Once again, a lot of people passing on. But, here, I might as well play a little bit of Nero Wolfe. See if it sways anybody a little bit. This is Nero Wolfe. This is The Deadly Sellout. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ringing of that phone bell means mystery, adventure.
Nero Wolfe's office, Archie Goodwin speaking. And you've lost your... Oh.
Archie, the answer is no.
Hold on a second. The answer to what is no, Mr. Wolfe?
I shall not attempt to find a blonde for anyone.
You've got the man on the phone a little wrong, Mr. Wolfe. He's not looking for a blonde. He's looking for a prize fighter.
Indeed. Have him come here.
Okay. Mr. Wolfe will see you at 8. So long.
That voice, Sidney Greenstreet, that voice, it's a very unique voice, right? But you can tell, a little lazy.
I was all set to argue with you about taking the case. You gave in too fast.
Nonsense. I'm fascinated by the thought of anyone misplacing a prize fighter.
Connie's mom, I do believe that's Tim Clary. Athens Thin Man shows had the best one-liners and comebacks. Better than Pat Novak for hire? I'd be curious.
They're usually quite large, aren't they?
They are. But what this guy is worried about is not only finding his boy, but finding him alive.
ladies and gentlemen, it's the bulkiest, balkiest, smartest, and most unpredictable detective in the world. That chair-born genius, Nero Wolfe, created by Rex Stout and brought to you in a new series of adventures over this NBC network in the person of Mr. Sidney Greenstreet.
The case of the deadly sellout. That's what my boss, Nero Wolfe, called it. And it almost meant curtains for the firm of Wolfe and Goodwin. But let me give it to you straight right from the beginning. Although you ought to know that it wasn't until it was all over that I knew the very beginning of it myself. It all...
Yeah, that voice at the beginning, and then they introduce it, the bulkiest. I guess even back then they were trying to be nice about his weight. I mean, even though there was the show called The Fat Man, and it is but yeah, it is very interesting. But can you imagine seeing that voice in a 120-pound man, skinny man, talking like that? I mean, I've seen some with very deep voices, that are very thin, but yeah, you can definitely tell that groggly voice, and it's made up by the man himself, Russell Cunningham, I have to get back to work. Thank you for stopping by, Russell Cunningham. Really appreciate it. He was the best of all the Neros, even the 1970s short run series. Yes. Which I think was CBC. Yes. Yeah. Well, the show was called The Fat Man. There was an actual show called The Fat Man. So, Thomas Murray, Mycroft Holmes versus Nero Wolfe. Oh, geez. I did not care for Mycroft Holmes at all. Now, you talk about a man who was just, self-loathing, and is that the right word for it? Just way too cocky. I did not like Mycroft. I did not like him. In the books, a little different story. But yeah, not on the screen or the radio. Sidney was sort of a big dude. Yes, he was. I think Nero sounds like he is looking for a solid gold falcon. Right? Oh, man. You guys are killing me. Anyways, let's continue.
Started in the New York flat of one Brock Rainey.
Yes?
The name is Jerry Fay.
I'm supposed to know you?
Being a very good friend of Pepe Gatto's, it's time you got to know me. May I come in?
Oh, sure. You've got a problem, Miss Fay?
Pepe took a fall at the garden last night against a coffee and bum named Eubanks, right?
As far as I know, Sister Gatto met his match.
Please, Mr. Rainey, do me a favor. Skip the sausage meat. It happens I saw the $1,200 you counted out to him to take a
Skip
quick
the
dive
sausage
in the
meat.
first.
You did.
How else would I know?
Okay, then here's my wrist. Slap it, Miss Fay. I'm a bad boy.
Now, look, who's kidding who?
Thank you, CM. Narcissistic, not self-loathing. Yes, that's not self-loathing. As you know, my brain is, doesn't work like everybody else's at times. So, coming up with the words. Thank you. Narcissistic. Yes. Self-loathing is a totally different thing.
I don't care if Pepe makes himself a few deals on the side. I should worry whether he gives those meat eaters on the benches a run for the ducats. What's it to me?
If you're not worried, Sugar Plum, then neither am I. Also, I'm a very busy man.
Not too busy to pay off, I hope.
Pay off? To who?
To me.
For what?
For keeping it to myself that you collected $5,000 from the Eubanks crowd for getting Pepe to take that dive. Certain people might not like to hear it.
Miss Fay.
Pepe
Yeah?
never takes a
Drop
dive.
dead.
I don't think we understand each other.
Which is just as well. Now get out of here.
There's something
Blow,
else.
bimbo.
Okay, Mr. Rainey. Have it your way.
What did he call her? Did he say bimbo? Oh, we can't have none of that, Nero.
I'll go find someone with a more sympathetic ear. Someone like Lawson. Arnold F. Lawson. So long.
Wait. Where does Lawson come into this?
You asking is stalling. Lawson dropped a sizable piece of change on last night's two-step.
No. Close the door, Jerry.
Oh, yeah. $25,000 to be exact. That's a lot of corn to lose because a cheap fight manager arranges a frame. At least Arnold Lawson might think so.
Sit down.
Who's tired? Look, Mr. Rainey, it goes very simply in only one way. Lawson at yet knows from nothing except that your boy Gatto lost the fight. He may suspect, but he don't know. And he really don't have to know.
Glad to hear you say that.
And I'll be glad to see the shade of 3,000 long green banknotes.
How much?
You heard me, $3,000.
Get out.
Okay, I'm going. To the next phone and call Lawson.
Look, Jerry, give me time, huh? I haven't got that kind of dough right now.
Tell it to Lawson. When he gets through with you, you won't need any kind of dough.
You know, I've got Gatto set for a go with Mel.
Well, that's another reason why, right? Nero did not like women, right? Well, I mean, come on. Most of the hard-boiled detectives back in the day, they treated women like garbage. I mean, that's just what they did. You know what I mean? It's terrible. And, not all shows were really bad, but, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what they did back then. And it's it was a terrible thing. Fight for your rights is what they did, and thank God we don't have to put up with that anymore, for the most part, right? Anyways.
What's the title contender? Gatto can take him. Please believe me, he's going to take him.
So?
So after what happened in the Eubanks fight, the odds on Gatto will be like a war debt. We can clean up.
Listen,
we can make
Heel, I wouldn't trust you from 11:59 to midnight. Get it up. Now. I'll give you 6 hours. After that?
She wouldn't trust him from 11:59 to midnight. That's 60 seconds. 60 seconds. That's bad writing. That's not good writing. I don't like that analogy. Not very much. And Stirpike says, oh no, Bimbo was the birthday clown on the Uncle Bobby show. Huh, interesting. Bimbo the clown? Why would they call him Bimbo the clown?
Lawson. So long.
Come on.
Hello?
Hello, Rainey, this is Gatto.
Hiya, baby.
Look, the boys dropped in on me at the office at Mindy's. Lawson wants to see me.
What? Lost?
Look, Bum, I'm the one with the cauliflower ears. You heard me. What do I do?
Nothing.
But...
Don't go near him. Stay home. Let me take care of it.
How? What do you do?
I don't know yet, Paper, but I'll find a way.
How did he find out?
Your girlfriend.
What? She wouldn't do that. She hates the guy.
Hate him a
Bimbo, he's the birthday clown, Bimbo. Here on Uncle Bobby Show. What the heck, Stirpike? I never heard of it. I'm going to have to look it up. I know you're not pulling our legs, so I'm going to have to look that one up. Peter Wernicke, vote for Nero Wolfe. Archie makes the show. Yes, I mean, it's almost like the Archie show, right? Because there's not a whole lot of Nero or Sidney Greenstreet in the episode, He's kind of just giving orders, and then Archie's off doing the detective work, really. So, yeah, this one is not too fair. I don't know.
Of him, she told him.
I can't believe it.
I suggest you call our little doll Jerry and give her your regards for the double cross. Meanwhile, stay put in your apartment. Don't move.
But, Rainey... Hello.
275, 319, 3...
Archie. What on earth are you mumbling about?
The high cost of blonde.
Indeed.
Oh, you can say that again.
I have no intention of doing so.
Okay, be smug. But there must have been a time even in your life when knickknacks from Tiffany figured on the budget.
Phooey.
Not to mention steak dinner.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's all Archie. I mean, really. Peter Wernicke and, yes, Tail Flaudermouse. Archie did all the footwork. Goodbye, Terrence M. Ritchie. Much love, my friend. Hopefully you continue on your way to healthy success and everything else. So, Stirpike says, Dino, it was produced by a local Ottawa station. Oh, it was a Canadian show. Okay, the Uncle Bobby Show. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. I'll definitely have to look it up. Wasn't Sherlock an addict too in the books? Definitely, yeah. And there were glimpses of it in certain movies and certain, detective, but there's a certain vulnerability about him. He's not perfect, just like all of us. Exactly, John David. It was, I forget the episode name, with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, where he was in the opium den and doing undercover work. Sherlock Holmes was. I can't remember the episode name, but that was a very good episode too. There's not too many bad ones, that's for sure. Can you imagine if people hit the hang up button multiple times on their cells like they did? Yeah, you break the screen, right?
Here's some champagne. Or what did you feed your girls? Peppermint lozenges?
Nonsense.
Nonsense?
They preferred lime.
Oh, I'm dying, and he laughs. Mr. Wolfe?
Yes?
I have decided that you are giving me a raise.
Archie, this is not a period in which unilateral decisions are wise.
So I'll be a dope and get a raise, huh?
As for your future mental attainments, you may be right. As for a raise...
You want to drive me to gambling? Like betting on fights or going... Okay, it's the doorbell, and I'm answering it.
The name's Rainey. You're Goodwin?
I'm Goodwin. Come in.
Is Wolfe in?
Mr. Wolfe is always in. Unlike prize fighters, I guess. Come on.
Thank you.
Mr. Wolfe, this is Mr. Rainey, the man who lost his prize fighter.
How do you do, sir?
I'm not doing so good. Mr. Wolfe, you gotta help me.
That will depend.
On what?
The fee?
That's interesting. And Nero was agoraphobic. Was he in the books? I didn't read too many of the books. I didn't pick that up, but did they mention that in a lot of the storylines in the books, CM? That's interesting because that would make sense why he never goes out and about and has Archie do all the footwork. So that could be, and thanks Jim Greiner, the man with the twisted lip, Opium Den. So that's the episode. A very good one. I love how Watson is just, first of all, pissed off that he's in there. And then, second of all, it deals with the opium. So it is brought up there. But swaying a couple people, but not much. 76 Sherlock, 24 Nero Wolfe, 89 votes. Again, this is a tough one, that's all. He thought oxygen was poisonous. LOL. Oh, my God. Oh, boy.
I digress. Your problem is what, Mr. Rainey?
Mr. Wolfe, I manage a fighter named Gatto. Maybe you've heard of him.
I have not. However, that is of little significance. You are having difficulty with this Mr. Gatto?
I'm not having difficulty with him. I can't find him. Maybe you better let me give you the whole picture, huh?
Very well.
Well, Gatto is an up-and-coming boy, Mr. Wolfe. He had a little upset last week with a guy named Eubanks. But everybody knows in spite of that, Gatto's heading for the big time. I think he'll prove that when he goes against Mellish.
Mr. Mellish being another pugilist, huh?
That's right, Mr. Wolfe. Now, Pepe, that's Gatto. Pepe was due at the Turf Club this afternoon to meet the opposition management and go over the setup. He was due, but he didn't show. I waited all afternoon, and then I started the phone calls and taxis.
The results?
No results. I combed every joint I ever knew him to buy a beer in, and the score was 0. Matter of fact, nobody's even seen him for 4 days.
You would have tried the gymnasiums, naturally?
Anything Seinfeld pops up, I have to say, talk about it. Dave Plouffe says, reminds me of the Seinfeld episode when Jay Peterman tells Elaine she tested positive for opium after having poppy seed muffins. Yes. And then she goes and tries to get a urine sample from Jerry's mother, who is 70 years old? I forget. And then, because she's trying to go on a trip with Jay Peterman, and then it comes back that she's going through osteoporosis and all these other old people things. It's like, oh, it was so funny. Great episode. Thanks for bringing that up there, Dave Plouffe.
Dead.
Does this pugilist have a home?
Yeah, 206A Rathbone Street. A penthouse on the roof.
He was not at home during all this time?
It's where I tried first. Was empty as a bank on Saturday afternoon.
I see. And you want me to find him for you?
If Pepe blows this fight, Mr. Wolfe, it'll ruin his career.
Can I say the bank on Saturday is always busy? So I don't know. Maybe back in the day it wasn't. I don't know. People didn't go to the bank on Saturdays. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the preservation of his career is worth a good deal to you?
I got a check for $2,000 right here.
Archie?
I'll get it. $2,000.
Very well, Mr. Rainey. I shall take immediate steps.
I got a cab waiting outside. We can get started right away.
We? Phew. I shall remain here.
But how do you expect to...
Archie.
Yes, Mr. Wolfe.
You will leave with Mr. Rainey. I need information. You might try the Rathbun Street penthouse to start with.
But I've already been there.
With all due apologies, Mr. Rainey, suppose you restrict your activities to pugilists. Archie is a trained observer. You are not. Archie, you will pick up whatever you can at Gatto's apartment. I especially suggest a careful...
Well, Nero Wolfe is well-spoken and very direct. It's the only downside to what he's doing is that he has Archie go out and do the work for him. Otherwise, he may have been a much better detective. But I think for that reason, he's not on par with a lot of the other detectives. So, anyways, with that said, I don't think I'm going to play any more of that episode. That's just the way we're going to do it this week. Lots of goofs. Stream didn't start up that well at the beginning, and then I went on a rampage there, speaking my mind. And but I think we got the gist of this one, man. I guarantee next week we will have a more lively debate because we will put something like maybe Pat Novak up against like Rocky Jordan or Rocky Fortune. Because Pat Novak kind of had a short live, but Pat Novak is Jack Webb. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I will get together the perfect pair so that it'll be almost 50-50, so that we'll have a much livelier debate. Heck, I would even love to have somebody on here who really would like to talk about old time radio and kind of contrast with me. Anyways, Edward. So Sherlock Holmes wins. We'll end the poll. 92 votes. I mean, that's pretty darn good. And 76% to Sherlock Holmes and 23% to Nero Wolfe. Kind of expected that, of course. I have to kind of tighten the grips on how I put together the detectives for the battles because Sherlock Holmes beat the crap out of Nero Wolfe. Just popped him right in the lip. Anyways, she also ate Tic Tacs. Pat Novak versus Jeff Reagan. Yeah, there you go. You know, so I don't forget, because you guys know me, Jeff Reagan and Pat Novak. Like, I know who I would go for, but that's a much fairer fight. A much better battle between the two shows and the detectives. So yeah, no, thank you, Tail Flaudermouse, for that. I think that will be the lineup next time. Yeah, Jack Webb versus Frank Sinatra. Also, if you haven't joined Patreon yet or the channel membership, please do so. I just put the poll up for movie night on Friday night. It's going to be, the poll consists of silent era horror, like Nosferatu, The Man Who Laughed. There's a couple up there, but they're all silent horror films, and you guys are picking it. So whoever the winner is, I think Phantom of the Opera is winning so far. So, you know, we got all week to choose and pick our polls. But very, very well done. Thank you, Tracy, for the links to the Patreon and the channel join. Pat Novak has the sharper writing. Yeah, and the better one-liners, CM. I mean, Pat Novak is like number one, I think. Is anybody better with the one-liners? I mean, I've discussed this before. I think one-liners consist of the entire script, just about. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a one-liner. It trips me out, but I really, really think that's interesting. Novak Blackie is awesome, says Joselle. Webb vs. Webb, Tale Flaudermouse. Yes, a good one. Good one. That's right. Tracy and Lisa, Late Night Coffee tomorrow nights is WWM. Yes, be sure to check out Tracy and Lisa tomorrow night. And also, me and Ginger, we just did our review Sunday, and we'll be doing them every Sunday night, our reviews where we debate. So go check that out if you haven't checked that out yet. Nosferatu the Vampire, 1979, Werner Herzog. And he closed his eyes and stopped paying taxes. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, one of the best. Yes, I agree. Well, some of Webb's one-liners were pretty cheesy. Well, that's what I like about it, Tell Flaudermouse. The cheesiness of the one-liners were fantastic. In my mind. But that's what I love about it. But, yeah, and me and Ted on Wednesday. Thursday, we got a paranormal show finally. It's been a little while, 3 weeks maybe, somewhere like that. I guess the stream does look good. This is about the best the picture quality has looked, right? Am I wrong? The picture quality looks really, really good, right? I mean, let me know what you guys think. I think it's doing well. I did have a glitch at the very beginning, but everything seems to be working fine now. Dino and mods for everything. Peace and blessings to all. Healing thoughts to all. Here, thank you, CM. Much appreciated. And tonight, there are no timestamps, but be assured, even if you don't see timestamps, just because of everything going on today, and I had a busy day, there was stuff with the kids, all that, the stuff going on. So, Janine Eastman, hello. Got here super late. We'll have to rewatch later. Don't mind the big 30-minute rant at the beginning, Janine. Just me letting things off my chest. Gustavo Diaz, I don't understand nothing because I'm not speaking English. Good night, all. I thought you've been getting better, Gustavo, at this interaction with your learning of English. You say you don't understand anything. Yes, your volume could be a tad higher. Thank you very much for that. I guess I will push that higher. Yeah, I will push that up. But yeah, no, I've been keeping an eye on you, Gustavo, and you seem to be typing pretty darn well in the chat. So hopefully you understand what's going on. Buon notte. Okay, all is good. Keep it up, Thomas Murray. Okie dokie. Have to get dinner going. Okay, yeah. I'll let you guys all go. Again, like I said, even though there's not timestamps, you guys will enjoy the playlist. I am starting off tonight with Johnny Dollar. That's given. Then we'll have some Sherlock Holmes, and then intermingled there'll be some CBS Radio Mystery Theater and a good mix of other shows. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And yeah, I guess I will just end this. And boy, what a night. Oh, what a night. Late, whatever, I'm not going to sing for you guys. But peace, everybody. Much love. Thank you all for being a part of this Late Horror Show channel. And I'll see you guys on the other